Hey guys, welcome back to this beautiful channel. It is me, the Chainsaw Maniac, and we are here to help you guys out with your web comics. So before I get this video started, shout out to Hobbish Comics for awesome fan art. Man, it's so badass. Flavero looks awesome, very badass right here. And I would like to just thank her for awesome fan art. I'm actually doing my own fan art in the back for her, so you know, shout out to her. If you guys want to check out her webcomic, I think it's, let me see if I can still remember her name. I just read it last night and I forgot the name. The Witch's Stone. The Witch's Stone, I think, is the comic's name. She has, I think, another webcomic, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I'm confusing her for another artist. But yeah, check out the Witch's Stone. I'll add the description of the webcomic up on the screen so you guys can see what it's about, what's going on, and feel free to check it out. Maybe you enjoy it. So let's get back into the video. So if you have read the title of the video, yes, I'm going to teach you how not to quit your webcomic, because many of us webcomic artists or creators, we come to a blocking point. Okay, we come to a point whereby we feel as if we can't go any further with this webcomic, or, and this is usually the case for me, back in the day when I used to make my own little comics, I would never finish them because I would always get another idea of a comic or another idea of something to do, or another comic idea basically, and I would kind of not be interested in the one I'm doing right now, and then I will kind of just forget about it and move on to the next thing. And I know many other creators fall prey to this type of mentality, so I'm going to show you how I deal with this, and maybe, you know, it helps you guys out. So during the creating process of this current webcomic of mine, The Merchant of Ignatius, go check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, I've come to some blocking points in creating this webcomic as well, and I've pushed through it pretty well, I would say. And how did I do this? Okay, this is the trick. I don't know if it'll work for everyone, but this is what works for me. Okay, I'm gonna go through certain steps and just break down my process on how I deal with this. The first thing is you gotta take breaks. Okay, make sure you are taking regular breaks. Okay, and by breaks I don't mean taking a whole day off. Okay, that's not what I mean. Sometimes little breaks in between, but for some people maybe you need a whole day off, maybe you need a couple hours off. That's fine. Okay, there's many ways of taking these breaks, but I would suggest scheduling your breaks throughout the day. So maybe if you're working on a new webcomic, let's say you during the pandemic, I mean, you basically a whole day at home, so if you don't have a job basically, so if you're not working or anything, you know, you're just at home most of the time, or maybe Webtoon is your job and you are featured and everything, which is cool. This is the thing to do. Okay, take regular breaks in between, whether it's an hour, whether it's half an hour, maybe it's 15 minutes. Take regular breaks in between. Step away from your place of work, whether it's iPad, PC, or whatever, wherever you do your drawings. Step away from it. Just completely step away from it. You know, watch some anime, do what you know, planning to do, maybe work on something else, maybe watch a couple videos or whatever, you know, just step away from it for a bit and then come back to it and this is what you do. Okay, you set yourself a few minutes. Okay, you say, okay, I'm gonna take a break for about maybe 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe a whole hour. Okay, but after that break I'm going to work on my webcomic, and you kind of push yourself, you know, forward doing that, whether it's writing or whatever. Sometimes you just sit down and you just can't work on your webcomic and you feel kind of blocked. Your mind feels kind of blocked. No worries. Look, just sit there. You will come, some idea will come, something will come, and you will and you'll have a chance to write it down. But taking breaks is very important. I would suggest, if you're a beginning webcomic artist or you have already begun, I would suggest, if it's too much for you, I heard most artists when it comes to making webcomics, they usually do a bi-week. They usually have a bi-weekly schedule, which is they have 2 weeks to produce an episode. Me personally, I like to put out an episode within a week. So what I usually do is, and I suggest you guys do, is if you're just starting out with your webcomics, is do a 3-week and then break schedules, whereby you every week you put out an episode. So you put out an episode every week, and then on the 4th week of producing an episode, you take a break, and then you produce another 3 episodes, and then on the 4th week again you take a little break. By a little break I mean a week, like you take a week off. It's not to say you don't work on your webcomic within that week, it's just you don't upload your webcomic within that week. So you still work on it, but now you have an extra week of leniency when it comes to uploading your webcomic. And I feel like this will kind of give you a little bit of breathing air. And if you keep doing this, you will notice that you will have probably like a month, maybe 2 months free of, you know, actually planning and all those types of things, which gives you more free time to do other things that you wanted to do. Or maybe you want to learn something new, maybe you want to learn animation, maybe you want to go through some 3D animation, 3D modeling, 3D, you know, it gives you time to learn new software, pick up new tricks. Maybe you want to do some reference study, studying poses, studying hands to better your art. It gives you more time to do this type of thing, as well as maybe spend time with your family. Maybe you want to hang out with friends. You know, it gives you a little bit of time to do those things that you wouldn't have time for if you had a every week deadline for your webcomic. But I think a bi-weekly schedule is I think is pretty decent to produce 1 episode. If you're just kind of starting out and you're feeling out Webtoon, I would suggest the bi-weekly schedule until you're ready to do a weekly schedule. And then even if you have your weekly schedule, you can always go with a 3-week and then week break afterward schedule, you know. So yeah, I don't know if I explained that properly for you guys. Also, there is another, this is the advanced weekly schedule, okay, which I'm currently on, which is you do 10 episodes, so 10 weeks, each week an episode, and then take a break after the 10th episode, which is basically nothing, to be honest. So in the future I'm gonna do the 3-week schedule as well, 3-week schedule and then a break week. So I think I'm gonna be doing that in the future with my new webcomic. The next step to help you guys to not quit your webcomic is to break your webcomic up into seasons, okay? Trust me, this will really help. Maybe set a rough estimate of what is needed for the first season. Set a rough estimate. So maybe you say, okay, I'm gonna do 30 episodes for the first season. Okay, you have it locked down. It doesn't matter if you go a bit over, if you do a bit less. You just have a roundabout estimate of how long the first season of your webcomic is going to be. This opens a lot of doors for you in terms of giving you a bit more of extra space, in terms of not only just giving you a bit more free time, but because after this first season of your webcomic, you could actually take a hiatus to work on the second season, or this goes into our next step. It gives you time to work on another webcomic that you had maybe in the back of your mind. So now you can dual wield 2 comics at the same time. And this is one of the steps I'm going with. So what I'm gonna do with my first webcomic is I'm gonna do the first season. I'm actually like halfway through the first season, because the limit I set for my webcomic was, I think, around 30 episodes. So I set 30 episodes. This is the first season for my webcomic. That's the limit I'm going with, around there. So maybe it could go a bit over 34, maybe 32, 28, maybe 29. It depends how much that season will need for the last part, because I'm kind of a guy who kind of wings certain things. So I didn't fully plan out the length of my episodes as well as the season, but I have at least a rough estimate of where exactly it's going, how long it's gonna be. You know, it's good to break down things a little bit by little bit, and getting maybe a rough idea of where things are in your webcomic and how long it's going to be, how long the episode's going to be, how much panels you're going to use. And that's why when you start out in Webtoon, you'll kind of get an easy feel for this. That's why maybe starting out a bi-weekly schedule is much easier than just starting a week schedule, you know. Yeah, and that's why the 3-week schedule and then the break also helps, because in the first 3 weeks you will understand how much is needed for those 3 episodes, and within the break you can kind of optimize and kind of edit the way you kind of do your thing, you know what I mean? So as I was saying, you can now work on your other webcomic that you maybe have in the back of your mind, and you can now break that up into seasons as well. So this is my plan, and maybe it will help you guys to understand a better way of maybe doing your webcomic as well. I'm planning on doing the first season of my webcomic, and I have another webcomic that I'm pretty excited about, and I'm planning on doing the first season after I'm done with this first season. So after I'm done with the first season of the current webcomic I'm doing, I'm going to take at least like a month or 2 of hiatus to work on my next webcomic, and then I'm going to do that first season until I'm done with that first season, take another hiatus, come back for the second season of the other webcomic. Within those times of hiatus, I also get to work on other things as well as focus on my 2 webcomics at the same time. And at the same time, it kind of keeps your mind fresh. It keeps things rolling. You kind of catering for your artistic needs in terms of expanding your ideas of the other webcomics that you plan on doing as well. So you get to dive into new territory. Maybe you want to do a bit of a romance. Maybe you want to do a bit of a thriller. Now you get to work on different webcomics at the same time. You don't even have to do 1 or 2. You can do 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 webcomics at the same time. It's just you take little breaks in between and you break them up into seasons. Therefore, you get a little time to work on each one. You know what I mean? For me, that's a really good way of keeping your ideas fresh. And you also get to pick and choose which season of which webcomic you want to work on first. Which do you feel more inclined to working on? And how do you feel about working on it? Maybe you don't want to work on the other one anymore. Maybe you don't want to work on this webcomic anymore, so you can just hop back to the other one until you feel like you want to work on the other one. And this way, you kind of keep your audience as well. You kind of keep them engaged, and they're just coming along the journey, you know. And you have the opportunity to also reach other audiences that maybe isn't into a certain type of genre that you've been working in. Now you get to kind of dip your toe into other genres, and you can see kind of where you lie within the genres. What are you best at doing? Whether it's action, whether it's fantasy, what is your speciality in terms of creating a certain type of genre and catering to a certain type of audience. It also gives you time, and this is a little interesting tip, it also gives you time to work on, because I know Webtoon and other webcomic platforms, maybe some other type of art platforms, have certain events like short story contests or crossover contest or whatever they plan on doing in the future, 9gag X Webtoon contest or whatever, you know. Now within those breaks, within those hiatuses, within all those little short periods of time that you have to yourself, you now get to work on other you now get to express your art in many other ways, and that interest you, and you get to dive into other things as well as connecting with other audiences, other fan bases, you know. So you kind of get to explore a bit more. This kind of gives you more artistic freedom as well. You now get to dive into other things, you know. I feel like this methods that I've been talking about, in these ways that I've been talking about, of taking little breaks, of working on other things, these also help keep you motivated, to be honest. It really keeps you motivated. It gives you a bit more confidence in your art. And also the short seasonal breaks that you take, you will see your art improve, obviously, in between. And when you come back to your webcomic, the short breaks gives them time to now adapt to your new improved art style as well, you know. I feel like that helps out with that as well. So you don't have to redo the first episode or redo the first few episodes. You know, I might redo the first season once I'm done with it. And then condense certain episodes, and I might just revise it a bit. Not the line art, basically. The line art I think is fine. It's just the coloring. Because I was learning coloring and shading at the time. I was learning how to do certain things and whether I'm gonna do hard or soft shadowing. So I'm gonna redo my first season, condense certain episodes, edit it up a bit, and then I'm gonna repost it onto a new link and keep it fresh, you know what I mean? So that's just a little heads up for you guys who've been following me and everything. The last point is always, okay, it's always the most important point, and I have to keep stressing it until people understand that you have to believe in your art. Okay, you have to do it. Whether it's webcomics, whether it's 3D modeling, whether it's, you name it, visual effects, whatever it is, okay, whatever medium of entertainment in terms of where art is concerned, whatever it is, you have to believe in your abilities and yourself. You have to do it, okay? Believe in yourself, believe in your art. You just gotta believe, okay? Believe, okay? You gotta know that, okay, I can do this, okay? You gotta give yourself that extra push, because most of the time you are the only one that can determine whether or not you can do something, okay? And you gotta push yourself. You gotta give yourself that extra push, and don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to learn from your mistakes, okay? That's part of the process, okay? You're gonna fail. You're going to mess up horribly, okay? I'm gonna lay down thick for you guys. You're gonna fail so badly that you wish you hadn't failed that badly. You're gonna be like, oh my god, I failed so badly. How can this get any worse? And it's gonna get even worse. But I tell you what, okay? After you have weathered the storm, after you have been dragging your feet through the stormy desert and trenches, once you get to the other side, it will be worth it. You will see the fruits of your labor. You will see basically what you have worked for, the hard work you put in. You will see it present in your art. Like, looking back, you will look back at your art and you'll realize, oh my god, like, I thought I was good back then, but look at me now. Like, I'm actually doing all these crazy things now. I've learned so much. With experience and a lot of practice, you can get to amazing places. So just keep at it, guys, okay? Make sure this is a thing that you want to do. Make sure webcomics is what you want to do, you know, and your mind will change. Maybe you want to do 3D modeling in the future. Maybe you want to do game design. Maybe you want to do this. Maybe you want to do that. You know, in the future, you will kind of figure it out. And I bet you that the things you have learned previously will definitely come into play into your future art endeavors, so to say. So keep at it, keep going. I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing. So come on, you gotta push with me. We gotta walk through this journey together, you know? We gotta weather the storm together. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope that it was useful and helpful to you guys. If not, maybe you just enjoyed listening to me ramble. Maybe you just needed some background noise so you can work on what you need to work on. I'm fine with that. I will take it. I will take that as a win for me. But thank you guys for watching. If you haven't read my webcomic yet, I would suggest to you. It's a post-apocalyptic action webcomic with crazy magic and all types of crazy fighting going on. And if you like that type of webcomic, there's also a little bit of mystery, backstory, and all those types of things going on as well. So if you're into that, you know, I suggest you check it out. I will be dipping my toes into different other types of genres in the future. So definitely, you know, keep your eye out for my work. And to do that, subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you think of the type of steps and methods I went through What is your favorite methods, and how do you push through your mental blocks that you have in terms of making webcomics? And maybe you can list down below other ways that helped you get what you needed to get done, so that we can help other creators out there who maybe not, maybe this is their first webcomic and they feel like they can't do it, So let's spread out the positivity out there for those guys who think they can't do it. We gotta let them know that they can do it, and we gotta keep this ball rolling. So thank you guys for watching. I forgot to mention, all my social media links are down below, so if you want to follow me in any type of social media, find out what I'm doing, what's going on, anything else, hit me up down below. All the social media links will be down below, as well as my webcomic, as well as everything, whether it's Tapas, Webtoon, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, it's all down below. Go ahead and check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.